Hello, Reshat. Thank you for your time today. Just a couple of quick questions from me. I just want to talk about your opponent going into this weekend. How much have you seen of him, and what do you expect from him as well Saturday evening?
Me, I don't really watch my opponents fight because those guys that they fight are completely different than the way that I fight. So I like to, feel him out in the first couple of rounds and just to see how he feels. But I still fight to try to win every round. But at the standpoint like that, I like to feel him out during the fight and take advantage of what I'm doing. I like my coaches listen to see and watch the fights, but I don't like to watch the fights. I know that he's good, definitely a big step up compared to my usual other fighters. And he's only lost to, great fighters. So looking forward to stepping in the ring and proving my points.
I saw some quotes from you going around ahead of this weekend saying that you want to stand out. Is that what this weekend's about for you, stealing the show and putting that profile through the roof?
Yeah, every fight that I fight, I'm looking to stand out. If it's in Manchester or it's in Arizona, LA, it doesn't matter to me. I'm looking to be the guy that's like, listen, that was the best fighter in that night. He was my favorite fighter to watch, and just get my name out there.
All right, Reshat, thank you very much. I'll pass you on to the other guys.
Thank you.
That's right. Ames next, please.
Thanks, Lewis. Ames here for Boxing News TV. Pleasure to meet you, Reshat. Reshat, just wanted to know, having a look at one of the fights coming up in the welterweight division, Terence Crawford versus Crawford-Brook. Can I get your opinion on that fight, please?
I like Crawford-Brook. I think he's a great fighter, especially when he stepped up and fought some great fights. But I think Terence Crawford is going to be different for him, and I think unfortunately, I think maybe Terence Crawford might stop him. But like I said, I like Crawford-Brook a lot. I just think that Terence Crawford is just a little more ahead of the game.
Cheers, Reshat.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, Ryan, I think you've got some follow-ups. Go for it.
Yeah. Now that I know we've got the time, perfect. Reshat, hello. Thank you for speaking to me once again. I just wanted to talk to you, all being well this weekend. Obviously, you've had that a few months out of the ring, as a lot of fighters have. In 2021, how fast do you want to be moved in the professional ranks?
I want to be super, super active. It was supposed to be this year was supposed to be the year of me being super, super active because I had a shoulder surgery. But like I said, this pandemic hit and it kind of messed up everything. But 2021, I'm looking to be super, super active. Get these fights out. I want to be fighting guys with better records and all that stuff. Right now, this is a big step. The guy that I'm fighting is 17-5. So it's a big step. Hopefully everything goes well. If I fight the way I'm supposed to fight, I know I shouldn't have a problem.
Now, Reshat, of course, before everything closed off, we did see you over here fighting in the UK. I just want to get your thoughts on that, your reflections on how much you enjoyed fighting over here and whether you want to come back as well.
Oh, I definitely want to come back. I love Manchester. I definitely would want to come back to Manchester and fight again. It's just me. I'm not really a person that really chooses, like, I want to fight here. Whatever they put me, I fight. That's my job. But if I had to choose, I would definitely go back to, Manchester and fight out there in the UK again. Because I loved it out there. The people out there, everything, the adrenaline was just completely different.
Right, Reshat, thank you very much. Best of luck.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Ames, I think you've got some follow-ups as well.
Sure. Thanks. Thanks again, Lewis. Reshat, just wanted to ask you a couple of things. Like, tell me a bit about your Albanian heritage and how proud you feel of boxing with that heritage.
Oh, the heritage is huge, especially for my name alone, because I'm the second Reshat Mati in the family. My grandfather was named Reshat Mati, so I definitely want to put a good name onto that resume. But I want to be the guy that puts Albania on the map. Unfortunately, I wanted to be the first Albanian world champion, but Robin Krasniqi actually did it first. So congrats to him. But my main goal is to definitely put Albania on the map, and just tell them that Albanians are coming. Because now that I've been doing this all my life. I was 4 years old when I first started doing this, and now that you see more and more Albanians coming in, it feels good. And I definitely want to show people that, listen, Albanians now they know what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, how much was Krasniqi like an influence to you growing up?
Well, I mean, I had different people that were like Bruce Lee and George St. Pierre. Those are the guys I grew up watching, and they were a little bit more of the idols to me. My thing was I'm just doing it for my thing. The main person that was for me that motivated me was my father, and that was the guy that was like, you know what, I want to do this for him, and I want to make sure I'm doing it good. And that's it. My family's the one that motivates me to be better and better.
And we've got Florian Marku over here, who's flying the flag for
Yeah.
Albania that we see on our shores, and we get a taste of some of the Albanian fans who are just some of the most passionate fans I've seen in boxing so far. Obviously, you're not going to get fans to that sort of level right now, what with the coronavirus. How much do you miss that, and how much do you appreciate the ferociousness of the fans, the Albanian fans there, I suppose?
Oh yeah, when I fight in New York, I tend to bring maybe like about 800, 900, maybe to 1,000 people. So fighting in New York is my favorite thing though, because I like to go and see how everything is. The crowds are just unbelievable. But I'm a good friend with Florian Marco. He's a very good friend of mine. So for me, Albanians are very patriotic towards their people. So it's my favorite thing in the world is just to fight in front of them and make them proud.
And just final question, I see there are others that would like to ask a question to you. We've seen fights being called off because the coronavirus boxers testing positive. Were you worried at all before you had your test that you could have tested positive?
Like I said, I've tested twice 2 weeks ago, twice the week before I left, and then I tested right before I got here, and they all came back negative. So I was like, okay, so far so good. But you always have that sense of urge, like, you got to be careful because, like I said, we're going to cut this weight. We're doing all this hard work and all that stuff just so we can get tested positive. And even that, I had friends that tested negative, then tested positive, went back home, tested negative, and then you get lucked out. So it definitely is in your mind. It plays with your mind a little bit, especially my end. If I'm get tested positive or my opponent tested positive, it kind of messes up everything.
All the best.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Hello, Reshat.
How you doing?
Hey, good, man. Just wanted to ask you about your nickname, the Albanian Bear. Talk about that and how'd you get that nickname?
So it started when my original nickname was Mad Dog because I used to be fighting and just going crazy and just punch, and just super aggressive. But when it came down to it, a lot of people realized that I was Albanian and I wasn't really in that mix. There wasn't really much Albanian fighters out there. And they just started calling me a bear because I'm a little bit hairy. I'm not gonna lie. So they tend to push it out there like, oh yeah, you're Albanian bear, you're going for the kill, and it just came out like that, and a lot of people just kept calling me that, and I just stuck to it.
I like it, man. I like it. And last question for me. Big fight in your division in December with Spence versus Danny Garcia. What do you think about that fight? How does that play out?
Oof, that's a tough one. It depends on how Errol Spence comes back. If he comes back and it's like how he was before, I definitely have Errol Spence winning it still. But Danny Garcia, he's somebody else, man. That guy's no joke. But I still think I'll have maybe Errol Spence winning, maybe by unanimous. I don't see you getting finished or anything like that.
All right, thank you, Reshat. Appreciate your time.
Good.
Crystal, please.
Oh, Rashad, I'm here in Manhattan in New York City. So, and you are real special, Staten Island.
That's I'm a little bit different. I'm the New York, but not really the New York.
So did you fly out? Where did you fly out from? And where did you, with the COVID, how do you feel about, there won't be an audience, as you were saying, you're used to that New York call, but did you fly out from New York or where were you?
Oh, from Newark.
From Newark?
Because I'm technically closer to Newark than I am to JFK.
Or here in New York this time for all this?
For me, during the pandemic hit, I was isolated. I did not want to go near. So once March hit, once I came back from Manchester, everything closed. Literally right when I got back. So we came back from there. We isolated for all these months. I gained a little bit of weight. So the main thing was for me was to make sure I stay in shape. I didn't want to be near nobody or anything like that. So the main thing was for me just to make sure I'm ready for his fights. Whenever they gave me a fight date, I was ready. Especially when we were training, we weren't training with too many people. Everybody was getting tested, so we were all good. We were doing good.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.